Brevard College Tornadoes and your Southern Virginia University Knights. President Wilcox and the Southern Virginia University staff, thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. The NCAA and USA South Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or intimidating actions directed at coaches, players, officials, or any other team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Also, the consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco use is strictly prohibited. Please stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Thank you for your cooperation, and go Knights! In accordance with tradition, at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Courtney Olson.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for this day, and we're grateful for the opportunity that we have to gather and support our women's soccer team, and we pray that they can all be safe during this match and that they can play to the best of their abilities. And we're grateful for the beautiful weather, and we pray that we all have a good rest of our evening. And we love thee, and we're grateful for all of our blessings, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
And now for your starting lineups. Starting for the Tornadoes. At midfield, number 3, Chiara Porcellini. At defender, number 4, Haley Wynn. At forward, number 7, Abby Mayer. At forward, number 8, Maddie Edwards. At defender, number 10, Abby Rostencroft. At forward, number 11, Grace Black. At midfield, number 12, Jessica Tenhay. At defender, number 16, Emma White. At defender, number 25, Kaja Sekirov. At midfield, number 29, Autumn Wright. And in goal for the Tornadoes, number 1, Nicole Arroyo. The Tornadoes are coached by Juan Mascaro Jr., Rebecca Rojas, and Sally Regan. And now starting for your Knights. At midfield, number 2, Courtney Montez. At defender, number 7, Tia Murray. At defender, number 9, Ella Thomas. At midfield, number 10, Morgan Romney. At midfield, number 17, Mabel Harris. At midfield, number 19, McKenna Winterton. At defender, number 28, Annalise Huber. At defender, number 29, Maddie Staples. At midfield, number 30, Gabriella Ray. At midfield, number 35, Lindsay Clausen. And in goal for the Knights, double 0, Alyssa Truman. The Knights are coached by Rob Dahl and assisted by Eric Dahl, Jacob Solis, and Holly Cunha. Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for our nation's national anthem.
Welcome
Thank you.
to Knight
And good
Stadium
luck to
here
both sides.
on the campus of beautiful Southern Virginia University as the Southern Virginia University Knights host the Brevard Tornadoes in the first round of the USA South Conference Women's Soccer Tournament. We've got a beautiful night here on our hands for a soccer game. We've got about 68 degrees and just a hint of wind here. And both teams are going to be ready to take the field here. I'm alongside Rock Giles. He'll be handling some of the commentary here with us tonight. Rock, what do you hope to see here tonight from the soccer game?
I'm really excited. Last week I saw the men's soccer game on Saturday, and they were both fighting neck and neck, head on head the entire time. And that's what I hope to see in this game. Some really intense activity out there.
I'm sure both coaches are awaiting this matchup. Obviously it's the conference tournament, so the intensity, the adrenaline should be run a little bit higher than just for a regular conference game. But one interesting note is this is the third meeting in the history of the two schools. Both previous matches have ended in a 1-1 tie, but that's not going to be the case tonight. Somebody's going to have to emerge a winner, as with it being conference play, we're going to have a winner, and that winner will be moving on to play in the semifinals on Thursday.
Yeah, it should be a great game. I think both teams actually have 10 wins here, so it's a pretty even matchup is what it seems. We're gonna have to wait and find out.
Yeah, the Southern Virginia Knights in the previous, like we mentioned, previous matchup, we had a tie, a 1-1 tie, and after that, the Knights have won 5 of their last 6 games, so they come in on a hot streak. They were able to secure the second place seed with a win over Mary Baldwin last week. The Brevard Tornadoes come in as the number 7 seed in conference. They came in with a very even record, 3 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties for their conference season.
Go, Knights! Here we go, both teams getting ready for kickoff.
The Knights will control the ball here for the start. Moving the ball around on the back line with Annalise Huber moving forward a little bit. Puts the ball up to Mattia Murray. She puts the ball out on the sideline, and Maddie Staples quite can't get to it, and we'll have a throw-in for the Tornadoes.
That's a good idea there. I just don't think she saw it. She couldn't get to it in time.
Tornadoes quickly turn it over by kicking it out of bounds. Staples to throw in for the Knights. Working it into the midfield. Clausen controls over to Staples. Tries to push one into the middle, and that's kicked out by a Tornado defender. We'll have a throw in here for the Knights. Clausen pushes one forward to Winterton. Brevard clears. Here on the near sideline. Here tonight, the Knights are moving from our right to our left, and Brevard will be going left to right. As has been customary for the Knights, they seem to control the ball early on their offensive end, trying to provide some early opportunities for scoring. A couple passes within the box, deflections. Clausen pulls it back and controls the ball back to midfield for Gabriella Ray. Knights move to the left side with the ball out for Harris. That was deflected off of a Tornado defender, and that'll be a throw-in again for the Knights. Have a foul with a push in the back here, back near the box. That'll be a free kick and moving the other direction now with the Brevard Tornadoes.
You do like to see the aggressiveness out there on the field, but that seemed to be almost kind of flagrant and you can't be having a lot of those fouls here, especially early in the game. You know, you really need to know what you're going to do and then execute it.
Brevard quickly moves it up into their side of the field, or the Knights side of the field, I should say. The ball coming to the near side. And that's Staples that clears that. It'll be a throw in for Brevard. The turnover, and the Knights are on the run, quickly counterattacking toward the Brevard side of the field. Brevard's able to slow that down. Now we have a ball for Mattia Murray. Just fighting for it. And we end up, she gets called for a foul that'll turn around and go Brevard's way. You're right, Rock. The Knights are usually best when they are attacking on the defensive side of the field. You know, their offense really is a good weapon for them, and so any of those silly turnovers, you know, turns the ball over to the other team, and they go back on the defensive.
What's really going to make the difference here, I think, in this game, a lot of people slipping over there for some reason. That's the second one in about 15 seconds. But yeah, no, absolutely. You know, you got to keep your head in the game, and I think sometimes, you know, the other team can do a good job of getting inside your head, and when that happens, you know, you tend not to play as well. You know, you're throwing around some fouls, and it starts bugging you, and it'll show up later in the game as well.
Definitely, so often soccer is a game of ball control. You talk about possession, time of possession, and that's what you really want to go for. One of the best parts of the Knights game is that they're able to control the ball and attack. It's not just a matter of holding the ball in the midfield, but constant state of attacking. Knights have the ball here in midfield. Gabriella Ray tries to switch to the far side. Ball gets headed around between both teams, and Clausen comes away with it. She sends the ball far to Mabel Harris. It gets past her. Brevard flicks one down the sideline, and that's going to be easily possessed by the Knights. They'll move that back to senior goalkeeper Alyssa Truman. She's been solid in her outings. She's only allowed 6 goals here during her senior campaign. Clausen possesses the ball in the midfield. Looks on, try to push one through to Winterton, and just out of her reach. You know, one of the players to watch for Brevard is number 7, Abby Mayer. She's a transfer, so this is her first year with Brevard, but she's led the team on the offensive end. But so far, as we see Brevard just move the ball around in the midfield, you know, they haven't seemed to force the issue, aren't pushing the ball anywhere. Seem to turn the ball over fairly quickly, as they do right there, to the Knights.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest mistakes is what's, you know, causing all these turnovers is the fact that they're trying to rush the ball. You know, you get close and you get excited, so they end up just rushing themselves and hurrying a little too quick and not able to, you know, get the ball where they want. It causes the turnover.
So Knights had something moving forward there, but ball's kicked out of bounds, and Brevard will have the throw in here. Deep in their own end, trying to move it forward, and that ball goes right to the Knights. Knights have the ball here in the midfield. Courtney Montez right there. Be a throw in here on the Knights side of midfield for Brevard. You know, like I said, they haven't been able to sustain anything while they've had the ball. Couple passes, bring a ball back out. Brevard sends that out of bounds, and that will be a throw in for the Knights near midfield. A good through ball. Yeah, inside into the box now.
That was a good opportunity for SVU to get something going right there, to get the first goal up on the board. And, I think Brevard just read that pretty well and got some good defense, got a good foot on the ball. And, they still definitely have this opportunity with the corner kick. But if Brevard keeps up the intensity, it's going to be real tough to be able to get inside the goal.
That was Winterton with that opportunity, as she's prone to do. Corner kick comes in, goes to the ground. Clausen has a shot on goal and sells it over the top of the goal. So that was a dangerous situation there for Brevard, and they got a little lucky there with Clausen just getting under that and sending that ball over the crossbar for the goal kick.
I think it just takes it back to what I said earlier about getting excited, getting in those clutch situations and just being hurried. You're just hurrying yourself, and you're not able to execute exactly as you wanted inside your head.
Absolutely, Rock. Both teams, we just touched on this just briefly, both teams are very good defensively. They both were near the top of the conference in goals allowed. So those chances, like Clausen just had, they likely won't come often. So it's important to try and take advantage of those. Now we got Murray with the ball. Goes for a cross, bounces back. Staples with a through ball. And Arroyo, goalkeeper for Brevard, comes out to meet that before Morgan Romney can touch that in. It was a great through ball there by Staples. Giving an opportunity again to the Knights. A little bit of pressure put on there by Mabel Harris. Throw in coming for Brevard. Rock, that's one thing. The Knights have been able to sustain a couple of attacks and get some opportunities. Brevard just can't really maintain possession of the ball. Every time they receive a pass, it seems like there's a Knight right on their back to touch the ball away.
Absolutely. The Knights really came to play, I think, and they wanted to bring that intensity to the game, both on offense and defense, and that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Now Brevard has it just past midfield. Couple passes, and again they lose the ball out of bounds, so this puts the Knights back in possession with the ball. Harris in the midfield, she touches the ball over. Ball swings wide here to Maddie Staples. She gets past the defender. Able to keep the ball in bounds, just tries to touch it forward to Mattia Murray, but Brevard touches it away. Now we got Brevard here at the top of the penalty box. It looks like we're going to have a goal kick. Again, that was Abby Mayer, dangerous player for Brevard that got a long pass and had a little bit of space, but as we've talked about, Rock, two Knight defenders there, and all she could do was push that ball for a goal kick.
It's really hard to get something going when you're constantly surrounded by defenders. So I'm sure as a coach, you're really happy to see that your players are able to read the offense and to get players over there and not give up anything for free. Really make them work for it and earn it.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Dahl's happy with the way the Knight defense is able to anticipate where Brevard's going to go with the ball. Ball's headed around, finally controlled here by the Knights. Can you get a number on her for the green shoes there at midfield? I'm not quite sure who that is. Ball played forward and out of bounds. Well,
to see another ball go out of bounds here.
Ball in, Brevard's with the defender on the back there. They push forward, and again the Knights come away with the ball. They're able to possess the ball away from Brevard. That's Grace Black from Brevard that the pass was intended to. Blocked ball by Brevard forward there, and ball's kicked out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for Brevard.
It's a big part of being in a team. I think the pass could have been there. It was just a miscommunication on kind of the Knights, but for the most part they've been staying in control, and that's just because they have been finding feet and had that subtle communication between players. Just that one play that caused it to go out of bounds.
And there we go again. Clausen's able to fight with the Brevard player there and send the ball out of bounds. So now we have the Knights with the ball. Maddie Staples pushes forward. That's Romney. Tia Murray fights for the ball. Brevard pushes it back. But again, there's Annalise Huber to gather that ball. Moves it back to Truman, and we'll start the attack from the goalkeeper. Staples on the near side. Moves it forward. There's Winterton over to Clausen. We'll switch the ball over to the far side now. Makes a good move past the Brevard defender. Great little move there.
Absolutely. You could tell that she wasn't anticipating to do that, but she was anticipating the defender, and she read the defender and allowed that to make, to let her make that move instead of just trying to do it on impulse. And that's a big part of just reading and executing. Those are the two steps to creating a good play.
Again, another two-touch offensive possession for Brevard, and now the Knights moving forward. Winterton moves it back. Clausen with the ball. She swings it over to the far side toward Ella Thomas. Can't quite connect, and the ball will go out of bounds for a throw-in for Brevard. Here we are counting down to just over 25 minutes left in the first half. So far, Rock, a first half that's seen the Knights dominate the time of possession, mostly in the Brevard side of the field.
Yeah, and that's really going to make a difference in the long run, especially if they're taking more shots. The more shots you take, the more you're bound to make. And that goes kind of without saying, but it's good to say it.
Had a basketball coach that always said you can't score if you don't shoot. That's Gabriella Ray pushing the ball forward. Swings it to the side. There's Ella Thomas. Back to Thomas looking with a cross. Latia Murray comes over to get it. Little toss and a pass forward to Maddie Staples with a shot just over the crossbar. Another good look for Winterton. She's done such a good job this year, Rock, of including her teammates on the offensive end.
Absolutely. You could see her running around, getting open, just reading the defense and being able to just find those gaps and be able to take those shots. It was a good try. It was a good attempt.
We got the restart. Ball headed out of bounds. We'll have a throw in here for Brevard. Mabel Harris again heads it out of bounds for another throw in from the Tornadoes. Ball comes in quickly with a touchback to Gabriella Ray, who pushes it back to Alyssa Truman. And we'll have a restart from the Knight goalie. Ball's at midfield. There's Mattia Murray. She wins the ball and gets fouled. Foul by Maddie Edwards from Brevard. Mattia had already played that a little forward and got a little bump there from Maddie Edwards from Brevard, so the referee was right there and called her for the foul. Ella Thomas comes over to take the free kick, see if she can put that somewhere near the top of the box and create some offense. Here's the ball, headed by Romney. Had Courtney Montez there just behind, and Arroyo, the goalkeeper from Brevard, is able to run that down before Mabel Harris gets to that. Excuse me, that was Gabriella Ray that put the pressure on there. Brevard's able to maintain possession here. The ball forward, which is quickly gathered in by Maddie Staples. She touches that forward. Tia Murray comes up to put some pressure on the Tornado defender. Ball touched back to Arroyo. She's able to get rid of that. Morgan Romney chased that ball in just in case there was an issue with her with the goalkeeper. Romney tries to send it through to Winterton. Winterton gets it. A lot of contact here within the box, but the referee's going to go ahead and give a throw in here to the Knights.
It's a really physical move right there, and you can actually hear the fans below us getting loud. Really thought that something should have been called down there, I think.
It looks like we'll have a corner, not a throw in. So again, Ella Thomas comes up, sends the ball to the box. And a header by Winterton didn't quite have the force behind that rock, I think, that she was hoping to get, and that ball's gathered in easily by Arroyo for Brevard.
As a keeper, it's good to be able to see exactly what's going on, because sometimes they'll play off that ball a little bit instead of just trying to head it directly in, which wasn't the case here. But as a keeper, nonetheless, it's still good to be able to get that read and read the offense while watching the ball, which at times can be very difficult.
Definitely, and she played that well not to get caught off balance. So Brevard's already moved the ball forward into the Knight half. Kind of a long desperation shot at goal, which actually came a little bit closer than the Knights would have liked. It was a high ball that came falling and just drifted over the crossbar. Not much that Truman could have done with that either way. Knights quickly move the ball forward. Annalise Huber fights with Brevard, and now Mattia Murray will come away with the ball. She's got Winterton at midfield. Quickly moves the ball to Clausen, who turns it around, and there's Thomas on the far side. Brevard is able to kick it off Thomas and get the throw in. Throw in for Brevard. Brevard player, again, one touch with the head and hits that out of bounds. So here we have a throw in for the Knights. And that deflects off the Knights, so we'll have throw in for Brevard.
You know, that defense really just isn't letting them get anything. They're barely being able to get the ball out on the field. Right away, it's getting kicked out of bounds.
I think Coach Mascaro for the Tornadoes would like to see his offense possess the ball a little bit longer to give that defensive line a break. As Maddie Staples quickly pushes the ball forward. Got a collision on the field with Winterton, and number 25 for Brevard. We don't have her name on the roster, but Winterton jumps up. She's got the ball now in the box, turns and swings it toward goalie. You had Morgan Romney quickly closing in, but the goalie for Brevard, she's able to gather that in. She restarts. Thomas over to Ray, back to Thomas. She Hits that forward, and nobody there for the Knights. Brevard turns that back. Clausen there near midfield. Back over to Mattia Murray. Gabriella Ray with one defender on her back. Pushes forward. Ball out of bounds. Would go to the Knights for a throw-in.
Knights doing a good job of just getting comfortable in the Tornadoes' territory early in the game.
Yeah, very few possessions by the Knights don't end with some sort of shot on goal or an attack, near the box area. So it's constant pressure on the Brevard defense. Which even if you're not getting the shots off, it's just the matter of fact that you're constantly there in front of goal, putting pressure on the entire defense, Rock. So we got a goal kick. Arroyo will send that toward midfield. Of course, there's Morgan Romney right there to gather that in. Quick touch pass to Winterton. Swings it out far. There's Ella Thomas. Loses the ball to Brevard. Brevard touches that out of bounds, so throw in for Thomas. Pushes that to Gabriella Ray. She comes up from midfield. Nice pass into Romney. Ball coming over to the near side now. Knights able to maintain possession. A good ball into the box. Winterton's not quite able to get past the defender to go put a touch on that ball, see if she couldn't do something more with that. But that right there, Rock, is exactly what we've been talking about. May not have ended up with a shot on goal, but the goalie is constantly under pressure.
Yeah, and with constant pressure, something's bound to break. And that's really what they're looking for at some point. They're going to be able to get that shot off on the goal, and the keeper's not going to be able to get it.
A quick turn of possession there, and Arroyo boots that toward midfield. Ball swung out. There's Ella Thomas on the far side. Gets past the Brevard defender. Touches to Gabriella Ray. A nice through by Morgan Romney. Ball through to Mattia Murray. The goalkeeper's able to come out and block that for Brevard.
It's really risky to see. You gotta give props to him for being able to have the guts to do that. It ultimately paid off, but when that keeper starts to run out of the box, it's really a do or die, and that's exactly what that was.
That really was. She played that well. If she did not make that move, that would have been a goal for the Knights. Knights again quickly gather possession once again. Ray plays that back to midfield. Huber swings it to Maddie Staples here on the near side. Now here we see for the first time, really, you have Abby Mayer for the Tornadoes come back to the defensive end. She's going to see if she can force the action a little bit. Great layoff by Huber. Mattia Murray makes a great cross. Just so happened there wasn't a Knight player in that space that they'd created. So, Rock, I'm seeing here that number 7 for Brevard, Abby Mayer, who's their leading scorer on the year, hasn't been involved much during the game. Made her way all the way back to the defensive end to try and see if she can get the ball and make something happen with it. Maybe she's feeling a little sense of urgency or desperation and feels like they got to take some pressure off of their goalie.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why we saw one of their shots was a lot deeper than one might expect. And it's because they're, like you said, they're just desperate to get something off, even if it's not really that close. If they can just get something off, it'll be good enough. But, in games like this, you really need to be picking up the pace offensively and defensively. Their defense so far hasn't broken anything. Like you said earlier, it's constant pressure and eventually something's bound to happen, but we just have not seen much from their offense. And I think that's why we're seeing, some players come back and really start helping out their defense, or some defensive players start moving up forward if they come close to getting something.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if she's constantly moving back to become more a part of the game on the Brevard side of the field. So here we have Brevard able to maintain possession a little bit. There's Maddie Staples. Gets a deflection off Brevard. So SVU now with possession. Maddie Staples in. There's Winterton. Brings the ball down just a little bit far forward. Yeah, all of a sudden it looks like Brevard's trying to pick up the pace just a little bit. They no longer content to have the ball in their own end. The amount that they've had at this first almost 30 minutes of the first half. So we have Thomas on the far side, moving the ball forward. She has Mabel Harris. Little through ball just forward, and that's going to go out for a goal kick for the Tornadoes.
You know, I think even when it's something as short as a game, you tend to get in the habit of something. And now the Tornadoes are in the habit of letting the ball get over on their side, so they're just kind of letting it happen now almost. You know, and you, as a coach, you're probably not very happy with that. You want to, see your team try to make a difference. And I think we're really not going to see anything different until halftime at least, just because, like I said, they're already in the habit of just kind of letting the Knights offense take over in their territory.
Yeah, with the pressure that they've been under, it's got to be kind of hard to make that type of an adjustment. Here during the half. So I think he's hoping to make it maybe to halftime. Still 0-0, and see if he can make some adjustments. We're going to have a corner kick here for the Knights. Looks like that's Ella Thomas again that's going to go over to take that kick. Ball comes in. Winterton fighting for the ball in front of the face of the goal. Ball comes down. Still action. Brevard's able to get it out front. Good play. Clausen kicks that over her head. Kind of a bicycle style kick to get that back across goal. Just over the head of the Knight player there. Cleared. Ray able to send the ball back toward the Brevard side of the field. She'll hold the ball there, possess it. And there we go with a great ball there. Great little run by Ella Thomas, deflects it off. Brevard will have another corner kick.
Here we go, another scoring opportunity soon after the other.
And they came close in that last one. Thomas sends the ball. Not quite able. She won't be happy with that. She didn't get her foot around that, and the ball sailed. Never came back into play, so we'll have a goal kick for Brevard. A couple substitutions here for Brevard. And also, we have one substitution, or two substitutions for the Knights. We have Bailey Allen that's come onto the field for the Knights. And then we'll get a number here momentarily. This play resumes. Winterton sends that down. And Brevard is able to clear that for a throw in. Ball bouncing around in front of the goal. Clausen trying to get the ball to the ground so she can take an attempt to score. But Brevard's able to poke that away, and Arroyo comes up with it. She'll send the ball toward midfield. Winterton sends it. Mabel Harris is able to get it. No, just rolls out of bounds. It looks like that was going to be an opportunity for the Knights again, Rock. If Mabel could have ran that down, she'd have had an opportunity to send that back through to the box for a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I think it was just a miscommunication right there. She just, kicked it a little further than her teammate was anticipating. It just, it wasn't a great communication. I think with the offense, though, we're going to be able to see more opportunities. But, yeah, absolutely, that was a missed opportunity that could have resulted in a goal.
A little bit of play around midfield. Brevard actually able to maintain possession there a little bit. Through ball.
Off your eyeballs!
I believe that's Huber that clears that. Be a throw in for Brevard. This is really about as deep as we've seen Brevard, make it into night territory all game, other than with a couple random touches. But now the Knights come away with the ball. Got Clausen pushing forward. Good ball to Ray. Makes the attempt toward Winterton, doesn't quite get through.
It's a good read. They just happen to get a foot on it.
Bailey Ayland swings it wide to Mattia Murray. A little through ball there, trying for Winterton. And Ayland, she's going to take a swing. A little deep there, maybe about 25 yards out from the left side. A little aggressive, maybe a little hopeful, but it's always good to try and put that ball on goal. She ends up just a little bit wide, probably 7 to 10 yards wide of the goal. So we come up on 10 minutes left here in the half. A lot of offensive pressure by the Knights, but so far, Rock, nothing to show for their work. Winterton chases that down on the far side. Pushes it just a little far forward. It goes out of bounds for a goal kick. So, Rock, what do the Knights need to do here the last 10 minutes of the half if they want to go ahead with the lead?
I think these last couple opportunities that we've seen, it's like I said earlier, they're just rushing it a little bit, trying to get something off quick when they really don't need to. They just need to stay in control of the situation. Take it slow if they need to. Just kind of stay in control of the ball. I do like the aggressiveness that they have. It's just the fact that they're rushing it, I think, is making the difference on the scoreboard.
Maybe a couple more passes between them as they get closer to the front.
Absolutely. Just finding feet, being able to play off their teammates, if you will, instead of just trying to force it in very quickly. Just kind of take your time.
Tell you what, I don't disagree with that. Maybe just one extra pass or two, and here we have Ray leading the break. Pushes it just a little bit forward and loses that. She had a couple Knight players alongside her for the run. Brevard's able to clear that. Now quickly the ball's back in the Knight, on the Knight offensive side of the field. Winterton pushes that forward for Murray. Clausen settles that down. Bailey Ayland with it here on the near side. Pushes to the middle to Ray. That's Courtney Montez. Mabel Harris fights with the Brevard defender. There's Gabriella Ray, comes up to take that ball. Control it. Bailey Ayland fights and wins possession. Pushes that back over to Courtney. Here we see the Knights, a few more touches there in the midfield area, hoping to create a little bit of space forward. Swung to Ella Thomas. Brevard's able to intercept that and deflect that off of a Knight player for a throw-in for Brevard.
We see Brevard get something. We saw them get something a little bit further into SVU's territory. I was going to say, let's see if they can do it again, but it seems the ball's just gone out of bounds, and it's the Knights' ball again.
Yeah, they've had a difficult time sustaining anything on the Knight side of the field. even though they got a little deeper here a minute or so ago, they weren't able to maintain or even threaten anything. You see Alyssa Truman stepping up a little bit away from her goal, hoping to maybe be a little closer to the action. She seems a little lonely back there. Not that Coach Dahl would complain about that one bit. Brevard tries a through ball, but there's the Knight defensive player there to intercept. Ella Thomas has it, pushing forward on the far side. Gets past Brevard. A nice ball forward. There's McKenna looking to cross the ball. Makes it. Two Knight offensive players made the same run. And then Madison Salas is able to get a little shot toward goal. She didn't quite get everything on that. A promising run, but then he had two Knight players that ran to the same spot on the field, Rock, and neither one of them was able to get a good touch on the ball.
Yeah, that just brings it back to communication. They just weren't in communication with each other, and they started running off to the same spot, and that caused the errant shot.
Good ball to McKenna with a cross. Another great ball. Just wasn't quite able to connect on that. That's Lakin Hansen, freshman from Vernal, Utah, that's checked into the game. Several times this year she's been a spark off the bench. And that's no different there. That's allowing McKenna to move a little bit more to the outside and play some of those balls through. Ray wins it. Again, pushes the ball to the far side. That's McKenna. Gets past Brevard. Another cross at the feet of Gabriella. She's going to bring that back out to Bailey. Create some space. A little touch to Madison. Got Gabriella Ray making a good run out to the corner. She gets by the defender.
And the Knights staying real dangerous in the tornado zone right here. They're looking to score. And the ball's going to get knocked out of bounds. I believe that'll be a goal kick. It looked like it came off the Knight player, off a deflection.
Another Knight player that's made their way onto the field now, had a couple more substitution, is Marcy Merrill. Again, another player that's been a spark at times for this Knight offense. So Coach Dahl here, as we go to the final minutes of the first half, has made some substitutions to try and make that Knight offense even more potent than it's been thus far in the first half. Brevard's able to play it forward, and Truman comes off her mark and gets the ball back on the offensive end for the Knights. This is Bailey pushing forward with a good kick forward to Lakin. See if she's able to run it down. Not quite. And that ball will just go out of bounds for a Brevard throw-in. Substitution for Brevard. That's number 30, Olivia Little, coming on the field for Haley Bryan.
I think both teams are getting pretty eager to score here with about 3.5 minutes left in the half. Really got to make something happen if they want to see something up on the board. Small adjustments, really.
I think Brevard there was just happy to get that ball out of their defensive end there. A couple dangerous touches happened there. A little bit too close to goal. Ball's played forward, and Alyssa's able to come up and move that. Ella Thomas pushing the ball forward in a hurry. Puts the brakes on, lets the Brevard defender go by her. McKenna pushes it in the middle, Gabriella Ray. And the referee's going to call a foul on Brevard, so here we have an opportunity at about 38 yards on the far side. We'll have a free kick, so we'll have an opportunity here for Ella to send one into the box. See if we can get something either off a header or at the feet of one of the Knights players to score a go-ahead goal here. The kick comes in. Winterton Gets a good touch on that ball. The ball actually hits the crossbar and goes over. So we'll have a goal kick for Brevard.
We saw Winterton do that a little bit earlier, and she just didn't have the mustard that she wanted on the ball. But that time she got all of it. Just went a little bit over the bar, a little high. Still a great touch nonetheless.
Clausen settles the ball, brings it up to the midfield. Trying to angle for a cross. Able to put the brakes on. Crosses the ball. She had Lake in there in the box, but Brevard intercepted it. Ball's played back. Got Bailey here with a cross. No one quite there, so Brevard comes away with it. And Ella comes up to put some defense, and Brevard turns and just kicks the ball out of bounds. So here we have a minute 15 left in the half. Throw in for the Knights deep into Brevard side of the field. Ball comes in. That's McKenna that's got that. Ball on her feet. Pushes it through, and Brevard's able to intercept that. But quickly, Clausen has it back. Gabriella settles it. McKenna's got it again. Brevard will clear for another throw in.
Brevard's really reaching to try to keep them out of their zone, but the Knights keep pushing like they've been doing this entire time, and we're really not seeing anything different. It's just, like I said, like the little things. They just need to fix that up, and once they do, they're able to get that first point up on the board.
Ball's played to midfield. The Knights take possession. Bailey dribbling in to get a shot off. She was trying to get a final shot off there, Rock, just before the half. Didn't quite get all of it.
And not a bad idea.
Kind of one of those desperation shots. And here we have the first half comes to a close with Brevard Tornadoes and the Southern Virginia Knights playing to a 0-0 tie through the first 45 minutes. The first 45 minutes, Rock, was really dominated by the Knights, mostly played in the Brevard side of the field.
Yes, let's see if they can keep it up after the half and see if Brevard can come with a different mindset that'll make a difference.
Absolutely. So we will let you go have a break for halftime, and we will be back soon with the second half here from Knight Field in Buena Vista, Virginia.
Men's soccer first round conference update. SVU up 3 against Methodist 2 with 10 minutes left in the game. Later this evening, we have our women's volleyball first round conference playoffs at 6 p.m.
Jacob, you have 6:40s to do after this. Don't worry about it. Just bring the shoe. No, the Chelsea boots. They're like yeah. Yes, sir. Yep. You could like hold it up on one of those shelves underneath. They're like grays, like slacks, like light grays. They're like light grays. They have like little check. They kind of like a little bit of black, like checkers. No, not those ones. Yeah, Brandon!
Men's soccer, USA South Conference Tournament update. Knights 4, Methodist 2, with 5 minutes left in the second half.
Might be, actually, in the bottom one. No, maybe. I know it's definitely not happening. I couldn't even tell you. I thought I had him there, but yeah, don't worry about it. Sold it for $120 on my own. Rick, I hate to disappoint you, bro, but my bucks. I love you, buddy. Thank you. Exactly. Drives up and watches their game. They run kind of like every game like that. Just with their dad You gotta recreate that again this year. Oh, I did too. I missed that Kiwi haircut.
Welcome back to Knight Field here on the campus of Southern Virginia University. Just about ready to start play here in the second half. You know, Rock, the first half saw Southern Virginia really dominate this game offensively. The ball seldom moved over into the Knights' side of the field. You know, what do you look forward to here as we begin the second half?
You know, I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing the adjustments that the Knights have made, whether they're small or big, and then the same on Brevard's, you know, because they really needed to make some big adjustments, like you were saying. They were really just dominated by SVU's offense and their defense, quite frankly. But, yeah, we're about to find out.
Play is underway, and just like that, just like the first half, the Knights quickly take the ball from Brevard, pushing forward. Ella Thomas pokes it forward to space, but no Knights are there. Brevard's able to settle it. Brevard pushes forward, and there's Annalise Huber to clear that for a throw-in for Brevard. Yeah, early on here, it'll be interesting to see if Brevard's able to maintain a little bit more of an offensive presence in this game, or if they're just going to be content to sit back and do what they can to prevent anything from the Knights.
Yeah, just here, you know, we're seeing them, you know, try to come out swinging early. You know, they tried to get the ball over on the Knights side, and they just couldn't maintain the ball. Actually resulted in a foul, but, you know, you do like to see the aggressiveness there and the attempt, even if they can't execute it.
Yeah, I think if I'm, you know, Coach Mascaro for the Tornadoes, I'm happy to see, you know, that intensity over on the offensive end there finally, even though it did result in a foul. Just anything to show a little bit of fight or resistance here from the Tornadoes is what I think Coach Mascaro will be looking for.
Just make it more even.
As we begin the second half, we want to make sure everybody's aware, again, this is a conference tournament game where we are playing the second half, which again will be 45 minutes. If the game remains tied through the 90 minutes of regulation play, there will be 2 10-minute periods played in an attempt to break the tie, after which we would go to penalty kicks. You know, Rock and you and I were discussing this a little bit at halftime. You know, as it stands right now, you'd really hate to see the Knights end up in penalty kicks. You know, they don't, you know, Brevard doesn't deserve that result right now. You'd really want to see the Knights score a goal or two here and take care of business.
Yeah, you know, the Knights have absolutely been dominating, and so if it does go to penalty kicks, like you just said, it's really anybody's game. It's up in the air, and it really almost comes down to luck. So, you know, I'm sure it's in the Knights' head, hey, we can't go to penalty kicks. We got to get a point, at least one, just to be able to take this game home.
And I'm sure right now, you know, Coach Dahl has told his players to maintain that aggressive nature. You know, we see the ball out here on the far side. Knights possessing. I believe that's Mabel Harris who's going to cross it here. Ball hits. That's McKenna. One-timer off the crossbar. Off the crossbar. Brevard's able to clear that from the face of the goal. McKenna runs it down, and she's going to cross. And Brevard's again able to clear that. Here at midfield, Courtney Montez fights with the Brevard player. Little contact, but the referee says play on. Ball into space. Ella Thomas move forward, puts the brakes on, lets the Brevard defender go by.
Really dangerous zone right here.
Great ball by Gabriella Ray. Shot taken there. I believe that's Clausen. The ball sails high and wide. But there again, Rock, we see more of what we saw in the first half. A lot of pressure. You know, a couple good touches by the Knights to create offensive opportunities.
Oh, yeah. Some strong power coming in quickly within the first 5 minutes, you know, get a couple shots off.
Again from the goal kick. Knights already have taken the ball. The deflection out of bounds, that'll be a throw in for Brevard. Brevard with the reset. Push forward, there's Morgan Romney coming into center. Great touch out to the side. And Brevard's able to get in the way of that. And the shot by Montez doesn't get past the Brevard defender. And looks like we have Montez is going to be called for a foul in the box. So this will be a kick taken by the goalie to restart play.
Again, another scoring opportunity for the Knights that just didn't come through in the end.
You know, and that was one of those opportunities, Rock, where it was a good play by Brevard. You know, two good passes. You know, get Montez onto the ball. And she tried to take a good shot, but Brevard was there in front of her. So nobody made a mistake, just good hard soccer being played there. Now Brevard tries to start something, and the ball is taken there. That's Mabel Harris. Brevard tries a through ball, and Clausen's there to take it away. Gabriella Ray pushes forward to Montez. Clausen pushes the ball out here on the near side. That's McKenna. Brevard's going to push that out, and that'll be a throw-in for the Knights. Winterton has the ball, and yeah, we have a handball that's been called on Brevard. Everybody was asking for it. It looked fairly obvious, but took a minute before the referee stopped play. So we'll have a free kick here from about 25 yards. Here from the near side, Ella Thomas will make that. Puts a goal. It's heading in. The goalie comes out, gets a fist on it. Knights are looking to settle that ball on the ground. And we have a shot taken there. I believe that's Annalise Huber again. She comes up. You know, they played it down right at her feet. Said, go ahead, take a shot here. And just sails a little high and wide.
You know, and if we look at the stats, I believe that's actually Southern Virginia's 11th shot compared to Brevard's. And they you know, Brevard hasn't taken a shot yet. Still waiting to see that happen.
Brevard, a couple touches deep in their own end. I don't think coach is happy with that. We'll like to see them turn that, push it upfield. Here they go, pass just across midfield, try to play a through ball, which is gathered in by the Knights. Clausen gets knocked to the ground. Referee says play on. That's Tay Brown for Brevard trying to push that forward. And a hard defensive play made over there. I believe that's Maddie Staples. Well done. Pushes the ball out of bounds. Brevard with a throw in. And they've finally been able to achieve getting the ball into the Knights' box. And just like that, they're called for a foul. And so the Knights will restart this. We'll have Alyssa Truman here she'll take the free kick. Pushes forward to Ray. Opens it up here to the near side with Ella Thomas. She'll push forward looking for a Knight defender. And again, that ball's touched out of bounds by the Tornadoes. Romney pushes the ball towards center field. And Mattia Murray comes up for support. And on the far side, Maddie Staples pushing the ball forward for the Knights. Gabriella Ray looks forward to McKenna. And Brevard's able to intercept that and push it back to the goalie. The restart. Goal kick goes directly out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in for the Knights. So here we have Rock, first 10 minutes, coming up on the first 10 minutes of the second half. What adjustments have you seen, if any, by either team?
I think Brevard is being a little more aggressive offensively. We've seen them get in SVU zone a couple of times already. Last half I think they got in their zone 2 times, in that 45 minutes. So that's one big adjustment that we've seen Brevard go. Overall it seems pretty similar to last half. Not a whole lot of changes. Hopefully we'll be able to see a little something different later in the half, but so far there hasn't been much change.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Maybe a little bit more assertiveness by Brevard on the offensive end, but not enough for the Knights to have to make a change to their game plan here after 10 minutes of the second half. A nice ball just played over the top. Romney's not able to quite reach that to bring it down. It's Ella Thomas playing one to the box. Brevard intercepts that. We have a collision here. Incidental contact, it looks like. Referees say play on. Thomas pushes the ball over. The ball laid out for Maddie Staples. She'll push that back to Huber. Bring it back here to the near side to see if something develops for Thomas. She can find some space to lay that ball into. McKenna's just kind of hanging back, waiting for some space to open up so she can run to that. Because most certainly where there's space, the Knights will be looking to push that ball for Winterton to run and make an attempt. Huber swings it to the far side. There's Staples high in the air. Here's McKenna fighting for the ball. And Brevard's content to let that roll out of bounds. Will be a throw in for the Knights. McKenna takes that quickly, tries to get it to Romney. And Brevard takes the ball. And SVU quickly takes it back. Mattia Murray with a long shot.
SVU really applying the more you take, the more you make. And that's not a bad thing. We're just seeing a lot of shots, especially early in the half, similar to the last half again. Staying comfortable in Tornado zone in their territory and just trying to make things happen. But it's kind of the same as what was happening before. It's almost like they're trying to rush you and hurry it, taking away some quality shots, but still good offense nonetheless.
Yeah, you had Mattia Murray there about 20 yards from the goal, had the ball at her feet and decided to take it. Ball ended up just 2 or 3 yards wide of the goal. SVU's pushed forward here. Got the ball in the Brevard side of the field. Referee's going to call a foul, so this will be a restart for Brevard. One thing, Rock, I think we are seeing a little bit is a little bit more of a physical presence by Brevard. We've seen several bumps, from the Brevard players here and trying to get the SVU players off the ball.
I agree completely. This game right now is kind of up in the air, and so tensions are getting more high, especially with the importance of the game. And honestly, I'm not surprised to be seeing that. You would expect something of both these teams because they're both really competitive. They both have 10 wins under their belt. But absolutely, there has been a difference physically in with aggressiveness as well.
Absolutely, as the game winds down, whether there's a score or not, you're going to see that intensity continue to grow. Somebody's season's going to end here tonight. Like we mentioned, the previous meetings between the two schools have ended in ties, but neither team has that luxury here tonight. Somebody will have to emerge as the victor. Maddie Staples opens up here. Got Mattia Murray. Brevard's able to take the ball, push it out for a throw-in. It's thrown in. I believe that's Mabel Harris there. McKenna's able to head it, and Morgan Romney just quite can't get on the end of that pass made by McKenna.
Some good reads, a good take. We love to see that. Just couldn't make it happen in the end. Still, Brevard's putting up some good defense when they're up, within the 10-yard line there. So that's really hard to score on, even if you are pretty comfortable in their territory.
Yeah, I think that's where you're really seeing their intensity increase here in the second half. They're not afraid to be a little more physical in front of their own goal. So Brevard wins that goal kick. Push it back to their goalie, and just like that, looks like SVU is going to take possession here in their third of the field in front of the goal. Pushing forward with a cross. And Clausen's just quite can't get there to make a shot at the goal. Brevard's attempting to clear. That was Courtney Montez making that run toward the corner and making that cross. Mattia Murray possesses the ball. Maddie Staples pushes into the middle. Back out. There's Mattia trying to find Mabel there as she moves up front. And Brevard's able to push that out for a throw-in. Maddie Staples will come up to take that. Looks like we have a substitution here for Brevard. Onto the field comes number 4, Haley Bryan. She is one of their starters. She was subbed out at some point in the first half, so she's back on the field, the defensive player. We got Ella possessing the ball here. Push them back. That's number 4, Haley Gadd, coming into the game for the Knights.
Good save.
Great play. She slides down to keep the ball in. Is able to jump up, make a cross. And the Knights aren't able to get on the end of that, and we have a player from Brevard that's down in front of the goal. I think that was actually a case of friendly fire there, Rock. I'm not sure if you were able to see that. But it looked like it was 2 Brevard players that actually knocked heads there.
I did not see it, but all players look like they're up and walking all right, and you love to see that. It's always unfortunate if someone gets injured or is unable to get back up. So we're grateful for them to be able to stand back up, stay healthy, stay playing in the game.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to have any injuries out here tonight. So the referee will restart that, hand the ball to the goalie for Brevard, and she'll kick that forward. Gabriella Ray's able to push that over. Got a call here.
I believe that was a handball.
Handball again. Here we are about 30 yards from the top of the box. So Ella's going to go ahead and come in and take this, see if the Knights can't get something going offensively here on this free kick. Ball into the box. Brevard heads it. 2 Knight players are there. That's
Some good open spots. Some good defense
Mabel
from Brevard,
Harris
though.
got a lot of foot on that. Saved by the goalie. And then it's Haley Gadd that had moved up, and she sees the ball fall to her feet, and she takes a shot. Ball sails way too high. So we'll have the restart here again. Goal kick. Looks like maybe the goalie took a little bit of the brunt on that. She doesn't want to take the goal kick, so one of the Brevard players comes back. Something I'm sure Coach Dahl took note of for the Knights. He'll be telling his players to push forward. See if they can't take advantage while the Brevard goalie tries to get composed once again here and shake off whatever she received there. So Brevard's able to start with a free kick, pushes it forward to the Knight side of the field. Knights are able to clear it already. Ball comes down. Clausen fighting for that at midfield. Takes possession, pushes that over to Maddie Staples. She's going to push forward and lay that ball off for Mattia Murray. Got a couple Knights here making a run. Mattia finds one of them. I believe that's Morgan Romney making that run. Going to have a deflection, and looks like it's going to be the 5th corner of the night for the Knights. So another opportunity here for the Knights. Ella plays that, and Brevard's able to clear that fairly easily.
Really good defense to be able to get that first move up on the ball and kind of get out of their zone a little bit for a little bit of breathing room. Still a dangerous zone. SVU's doing a good job of just creating more and more opportunities to be able to get shots.
No, we've been talking about this all night, Rock. You know, the Knights have really dominated offensively. You know, but there's nothing to show for it on the scoreboard yet, and now game time is, you know, inside the last 25 minutes of regulation. And, you know, for sure the Knights are going to want to find a way to score a goal here. They're not going to want to play any more than they have to tonight. A good ball played forward. That's Mattia Murray looking to create some space. Brevard's able to take the ball from her. Just like that. A touch toward the middle of the field. Gabriella Ray comes up. Ella lays that ball off. And we have contact there.
Another risky move by the keeper.
Doesn't look like anybody got a foot or a hand on the ball as it rolled by. The goalkeeper and Mattia Murray and another Brevard defender. And the referee just says play on. So usually you have that much action in front of the goal and referee stops play for something.
You know, sometimes when you're this late in the game, it's easy to get tired and kind of get down on yourself because you haven't scored yet. But it seems to be the opposite in this scenario, especially with the importance of the game that's on the line. You know, you're really seeing both teams kind of break out of their shell physically and, you know, and with their aggressiveness.
Yep, Brevard's able to play the ball, not threatening at all, but all the way into the box, and Alyssa is able to play that out. Knights maintain possession of the ball. Swing it over to Ella. Plays the ball over to Mattia. Brevard defender comes up, takes the ball, pushes Mattia down, and the referee is just going to say it's a throw-in for SVU. So Ella will throw that in here. Got a substitution. Looks like I believe Morgan Romney. Nope, Morgan's still on the field. Brevard plays the ball away from their goal. Knight player hits the ground, and we're going to have a foul. So about 20 yards out, be on the far side of the field. This will be an excellent opportunity for the Knights. Mabel Harris looks like she wants to take it.
You know, with a game this close, it's very, very dangerous to be fouling when you're that close to your own goal. You know, it creates a very, an easy opportunity to score for the other team. Very
Interesting
dangerous
to see
move.
if she goes direct or if she's going to just play something for her teammates. Played up in the air for her teammates. Ball's bouncing around in front of the goal. Deflected away, and Brevard's able to clear it. But the Knights will retain it on a throw-in. Ball played across.
Some fancy
Courtney
footwork.
Montez is the sub that's come in for the Knights. Brevard's able to take that ball away. A little bit of a run here until Maddie Staples steps up and puts an end to that. Throw in for Brevard at midfield on the far side. Brevard plays a long ball forward toward their box. The Knights clear it. Morgan Romney's got it. Plays it down, lays it off for Mattia. Mattia goes down hard. Fouled there by number 4. Again, that is Haley Bryan for the Tornadoes. Mattia's still down. Looks like she may have come down a little bit hard on her hip there. One of those that even can knock a little bit of the wind out of you for a minute. Referee allows her to take a minute here and gather herself. Looks like he's going to have a brief discussion with Haley Bryan from the Tornadoes. He's not going to show her a card, but I think she's been told that anything similar to that type of play will result in a card going forward. If nothing else, he's delaying a little bit to give Mattia a chance to recuperate. Ella plays the long ball in. It's cleared by the Tornadoes. And then Gabriella Ray plays a ball toward goal that's easily taken in by the Tornado goalkeeper. There's Montez. Plays a nice ball out to the far side. Staples. There we go. Annalise comes up, tries to lay that down. Now we have a lot of contact, and looks like the foul's going to go to Maddie Staples. Going to be a free kick for Brevard. 40 yards out on the far side. Probably Brevard's most dangerous opportunity of the night so far. What do you think, Rock?
Absolutely. I was just thinking that this is a very intense opportunity for them. I think they're definitely able to be able to
Ball comes in all the way to the box. Looks like that was Ella Thomas that was able to clear that. Ball bounces up and over the head of Alyssa as it gets, they play back toward the box, and that'll go out of bounds for a goal kick for the senior goalkeeper. She'll restart the Knights. Got a couple more substitutions. Looks like Bailey Ayland coming on the field. Along with, I believe that's Lakin Hansen over there. Haley Gadd comes off. And again, number 11, Madison Solis back onto the field for the Knights. Brevard lays the ball out, and that goes out of bounds.
Trying pretty desperately to make something happen on offense. Just trying their best to keep it on SVU's side of the field. Be able to make anything happen.
So not out of bounds, but another foul called on Brevard. Get the restart. Solis leaves that for Thomas. Haley Gadd with the ball here at midfield. Looking for some space. Lays it off to Thomas. Thomas pushes that to the middle. Bailey steps up, lays the ball off there. See if Lakin can make a run. Not going to quite make it, and that's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick past the end line. One more sub coming on now for the Knights. Again, it's getting a little darker here, and their players are leaving toward the far side of the field, so it's kind of tough to make numbers out as they go off the field. Brevard trying to push it forward into the Knight end of the field. Thomas lays that off for Solis. Solis plays it back to Annalise Huber, who pushes that. Bailey Aylen bringing it up the far side. Again, she'll look for some space. Finds it. A little one-time pass, one-time touch. Doesn't find another Knight's foot. Again, played forward. And Brevard will find that. Coming up hard from her midfield position. She's going to get called for a foul. Looks like that's Courtney Montez. So Brevard will restart. They're able to settle the ball here. Ball played forward now into the box. And the Knight defenders are right there. Haley Gadd puts that out toward a teammate. Now the ball is played in by Brevard. Inside the box, a shot toward the goal. Sails 15 feet over the top of the goal.
Definitely had the power there, just missed by a tad.
And here we are, Rock. Less than 15 minutes of regulation left. You got any predictions here for the last 14 minutes and change of this regulation time?
Oh, you know, I think it'll be going the same way it has been going this entire time. You know, really just more offense from SVU. I really hope they can get something across here. I think that shot that we just saw was Brevard's first shot of the game.
If not their first, it was one of a few at the most. They're pushing forward again. They're, again, taking a little bit more initiative here now as the game gets in the last 15 minutes of regulation. SVU plays that ball forward. That's Courtney Montez. Touched and deflected out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in just beyond midfield for the Knights. One thing we should mention here tonight, Rock, is McKenna Winterton, she was out for a couple games, had an injured knee, and so far she's played all 67 minutes, or 77 minutes, math off there just a little bit, all 77 minutes of this game. Giving it her all. A couple times it seems she's come up, maybe a little slow, but I think she's bound and determined to find a winning goal here tonight.
No, I agree completely with that. If we look at what she's been doing throughout the game, she's had a lot of opportunities to score, and she's missed by inches, if that, or if the goalie just stopped her. But I would not be surprised to see her score and change the game up.
Even if she doesn't score, any goal is likely to come resulting from a pass from her, some type of a play. She's been around the ball all night long. Brevard plays it, the ball near midfield. SVU isn't quite able to get around that. That ball's going to go out of bounds for a throw-in for Brevard. SVU comes up and clears that out of bounds. Be another throw-in. Nope, referee's saying there was a foul on the play. So here we go. Brevard, they're going to move the ball up about 33 yards from the face of the goal, but again on the far side, most likely going to be a ball played in the box area. Brevard hoping to maybe find somebody else on the end of this one. Nope, goes straight toward the goal, and Alyssa's able to easily come up and make that save. Urges her teammates to push forward. She's not ready to end her career here tonight. She's looking forward to another game. Good ball forward there by Haley Gadd. Misses everybody back on the Brevard side, and the goalie's going to go over and gather that in. Actually, we got somebody fouled up here, so Knights restart. A little sloppy there. Might go straight to Brevard. And now the Knights come up, able to take that. That's Lakin Hansen, pushes that. She's running into some space, hoping that the ball can find her feet again. Knights turns on it, makes a pass over, doesn't quite find Mabel. And ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for Brevard.
That was a good try to save the ball. Just got to it maybe a little bit late, but good effort nonetheless.
So Brevard throws that in. Courtney Montez playing some hard defense there. She's able to force the ball away. Now the ball's in, and Tay Browns takes that for Brevard. She's pushing forward hard now.
It's going to be a foot race.
Something we haven't seen all night from Brevard. And SVU comes away with the ball there. Great defensive play made there on that ball. Just willpower to run her down and get that ball from her. SVU will have a throw in here on their offensive end. Looks like we have another sub. Now Haley Gadd's coming off. That's Gabriella Ray coming back on the field. And got played. And Brevard just on the back there of Mabel, and the ball gets up and over to the goalkeeper harmlessly. Goalkeeper sends the ball toward midfield. Brevard's able to settle it at their feet. Put up.
Gonna lose control.
Lose control. The Knights. Knights can't maintain that on the counterattack. Now they got it. Solace. Lays it forward. Believe that's Mattia. for Marcy Merrill that hits the ground over there, but no call. Be a restart again. Throw in. Try to get it all the way to the box. Here comes across. Too high, too wide. That'll be a goal kick for Brevard. As we approach 7.5 minutes left in regulation. Goal kick gets past several players, and the Knights are able to take possession of that. Ball's out on the far side, trying to get around it. Slips and falls again. Brown comes up for Brevard and clears it. Bailey takes it back almost immediately. Brevard pushes it up, immediately intercepted by the Knights. A good long run down the far sideline. Ball played into space, looking for a cross. Brevard gets to it first with a deflection. Looks like that's going to be a goal kick.
Brevard hasn't done a great job of being able to contain SVU within their own territory, but they almost seem to be baby guarding their goal. And, that makes it really hard to be able to execute that last little bit. SVU's really figured out their offense for the most part. It's that last little bit where the defense really kind of comes through and they stop it.
Yeah, a little bit of a change here, I think, in the way they're playing defensively now. They're pushing a little bit forward, trying to take a little bit more time, and then they're not afraid to just kick the ball out of bounds. It looks like Brevard's starting to settle in here, and they'll be happy to burn the time. And I think right now they're feeling fortunate if they can just get this game into overtime and then maybe even penalty kicks. That'll give them their best opportunity. They got the ball here in the defensive end of the Knights. Knights are able to clear that, push that into midfield. The ball's laid off. And Brevard comes up, is able to push that out. Looks like that'll be a throw-in for the Knights. You're approaching 5 minutes to play now, so there'll be limited opportunities now between the end of regulation to break this 0-0 tie and somebody break through to the semifinals on Thursday. Well-meaning, well-played ball out to the side. That gets intercepted by Brevard. Knights take it back. A good ball played out. There's a good ball played out to the near side with the cross deflected by Brevard. And we have a Brevard, another player for Brevard is on the ground. I didn't see what happened there. Didn't seem that there was really even any play down at that point of the field where that occurred. But she's already up. Looks like the referee's just going to give her a minute to recover. And then he's just going to drop that. Let's see if Brevard kicks that out of bounds or if they try and play forward. They're going to play forward.
Well, we've been talking about how physical they've been getting in the second half, and if we look at the stats, you can definitely see a difference. There was 5 fouls in the first half. In the second half, there's been 12. Almost tripling that of the first half.
Much more aggressive play here in the second half. That gets to that point as an athlete where that competitive instinct just kicks in and you don't want to see your season come to an end. Or in some cases for the seniors out here, careers being finished here tonight. So that's certainly an explanation for the pickup in physical play. Brevard comes away with that. Stumble, Morgan plays that forward. Knights are just one touch away from space. Shot on goal, easily gathered in by the goalkeeper. Looked promising there for a minute. I think that ball was just deflected at contact too, so it didn't come away with quite the firepower that was intended. That ball's deflected off of Ella. That'll be a throw in. And we're going to have another substitute, well, several substitutions here. Looks like 2 Brevard players are going to go off. 2 fresh ones come on. Looks like that's Haley Gadd making her way back onto the field in the defensive end for the Knights. Brevard with the restart on the throw-in. And Elise quickly takes it away. The ball's kicked out of bounds for a throw-in. Rock, I noticed the noise of the crowd had intensified a little bit there, and now I look down and see the football team on the front row in their uniforms and maybe even some pads.
Oh, yeah, there they are.
Showing up to support this Knights women's soccer team. That's misplayed by Brevard. The Knights pick that up. Brevard's able to quickly recover and clear that out for a throw-in.
I think that jump up and fans from the football team might cause a difference for SVU, but I think it'll definitely make a difference for Brevard. It'll put a little more pressure on them, not having the same support as SVU, whereas before it was a little more quiet and it could have gone, either way. The crowd definitely makes a difference, I think.
There we see a little run there by the Knights. Deflected, Courtney Montez. She'll leave it for Ella. Push forward to Gabriella Ray. She plays the ball through. But can't quite get to it. And now you got a little tussle. Referee says play on. And then Gabriella goes down. And the referee's going to again say play on. The game is picking up the physicality here as we speak. Every touch being defended. Ball volleys back and forth. Neither team. We got 30 seconds left in regulation. Got bodies all over the field here. Seems though every ball being played ends up with a player, even 2 on the ground. Throw in for the Knights. They're in their final third here of the field, hoping to maybe score a late goal. Brevard clears that. 1 ball played forward. That's going to go harmlessly over the end line as time expires.
We're going to go to overtime.
And here we go, Rock. We're going to have 2 overtime periods here. They'll play 10 minutes per period. So we're looking at 20 minutes more of soccer here at Knight Field.
Everybody's excited to see it.
If those last 2 minutes are any indication of what we have in store for us for these overtime periods, the referees are going to earn their money here in the next 20 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. You said it best.
There was one instance right at the top of the box where a Knight and Brevard player locked legs. Brevard player was on the ground. She tried to bring the Knight player down right in front of the referee, and he just pointed to play on. He wasn't going to give anything there in the last minute. It might change the outcome of the game. It was going to have to be earned.
Yeah, it's like I said before, like if we take these last 2 minutes compared to the first 2 minutes of the game, they're so different. They're so different. The first half, I think everybody was a little more lax. You could tell that SVU was, still offensively intense and still trying to get the ball over there. But now it's a lot different where Brevard's almost fighting for her breath to get the ball, over on the other side. just to save that last-minute goal.
Yeah, it's interesting the way the game's been played tonight. You know, the Knights have really never relented with their offensive pressure. Brevard, on the other hand, you know, they've had their backs against the wall for most of the game. But there you see that last 2 minutes, they were fighting for their lives. You know, so it'll be interesting to see if their style of play changes now during the overtime periods, or, like we said earlier, they'll be happy to just push this game to penalty kicks and take their chances with that. But they definitely showed with that physical play there in the last 2 minutes that they're not going to go easily. They're not going to lay over and let the Knights have anything easy. Looks like we're going to have a brief intermission here. The game clock was set for 5 minutes. We're down to 3 minutes left of that. Referees will give the coaches a little bit of time to make any adjustments to their game plan, make sure they understand what their coaches want them to do as they go to these overtime periods. You know, at one point it was interesting to see Coach Rob Dahl for the Knights made his way a little bit onto the field where the referees were having a conference. I wonder, Rock, if he was maybe letting the referees know he wasn't quite pleased with the way they handled those last 2 minutes of physical play.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. It seemed like there were some fouls that they just didn't call. I don't know if they just didn't see them or if they chose to kind of just play over them. But, you know, as a coach, I don't think I'd be too happy with that either. But, you know, maybe that'll make a difference. Maybe it won't. I've seen it in several different, you know, outcomes when you talk to the ref. You know, you're either going to start getting things going your way or you're not. You know, and then it just comes down to how good is your team. You know, it's hard to blame the refs, especially in a game like this where everything's been pretty neck and neck when you look at the score. Not necessarily the offense, but, you know, when you look at the score, and it just comes down to the team, I think. So, you know, we'll see if there are differences in calls from the referees, but, you know, it comes down to the team.
Yeah, it's likely if he said anything, he just wanted to know if that's how the next 20 minutes were going to be called, or, you know, if they were going to go back to, you know, a more conservative way of calling the game and making sure that fouls weren't too hard. You know, Coach Dahl, he's a pretty soft-spoken man, so I'm not implying at all that he was yelling or screaming, but maybe just asking nicely in his very respective way if that's the way the game will continue to be called, if it's going to maintain that level of physicality, or if the referees are going to require them to dial it back a little bit as we head into these next, you know, final 20 minutes. You know, we know the game will last 20 minutes, you know, and after that, you know, if nothing happens, we'll end up with penalty kicks.
Got about 30 seconds left till the end of this brief break. You know, I'm excited to see the teams come out and see if they do make any changes. You know, we watched the first half, second half, and there weren't a ton of changes. We did see a big boost in intensity near the end. Let's see if they can come out with that intensity and leave everything they got out there on the field, especially if this could be their last game for a lot of seniors or graduates.
Yeah, definitely knowing that, you know, one team's going to end their season tonight. You know, the senior players are playing the last 20 minutes. You know, you know those emotions are going to kind of rise to the surface and be reflected in the play that happens on the field. So at the very least, we should have 20 minutes of very entertaining soccer here before the end of the night. Referees still taking some time, probably going over the rules of the overtime. Looks like they have the team captains there that they met with, letting them know it'll be 2 10-minute periods. Captains go back to their teams for one last huddle, and I'm sure at that point the referees will be calling them onto the field. So just going over the stat line here, you know, the Knights have had 5 corner kicks on the night. Seen them take 6 shots on goal compared to 0 corner kicks taken by the Tornadoes. And none of the, and I'm not sure, Rock, maybe you have that stat, how many shots were actually taken by Brevard, but none of them have actually been on goal.
Yeah, they've only actually taken 1 shot, and I believe that was in the second half that we saw. Compared to Southern Virginia, they've taken 17 shots, 8 in the first half, 9 in the second. Like you said, they had 6 shots on goal. They're all really, really trying hard to get that last goal. These last 10 minutes are really going to count. See who can get it first, really. But, if we look at the chances, it's probably going to be SVU. The more you take, the more you make.
Yeah, it feels like as this first overtime gets underway, I feel like a goal has been imminent for about the last 90 minutes of play. But now here we are, 90 minutes, and there hasn't been a goal scored yet. So, it's one of those things where this is why you play the game, you keep playing, and as long as that ball doesn't find the net, we're just going to keep playing.
Even coming out of the starting gate, I think Brevard's doing a better job of just finding feet and finding the open man. They're just compared to their last half. I think they do have a more intense mindset in overtime.
Definitely a better way to see those seconds tick away is to have the ball at your own feet rather than at the feet of your opponent. As Brevard lets that get by them deep into the SVU. Near the SVU goal. Be able to turn that around back here. Toward the middle of the field. The Knights have the ball. That's laid off. Maddie Staples here. She's able to get around one Tornado defender with a cross. That's cleared. Maddie sends it back toward goal. And it's a little wide there. I think the opportunity there was taken by, I think that was Gabriella Ray there that made a little attempt with the header.
That was a great idea to start taking early shots. That was a great move, great pass. Just missed by a little bit.
Might have been McKenna there that got that header. At any rate, that's much like we saw in the first half. Multiple opportunities in each possession.
It's almost like they're out there just not getting tired. Running out, they're running forever.
No, definitely. Again, McKenna had been out a couple games with an injury, and she's played all 90 minutes to this point, and already 2 minutes gone by in this first overtime period. Throw in on the far side by Brevard. Ball volleys around a little bit. SVU is able to take it away with the ball laid out. Go Gabriella Ray with a great move to get around a Brevard defender. She stopped. Now that's played back. Good ball deflected. Ball here to the near side. Mattia Murray able to gather that. Maddie sends it into the box. The ball comes down. It's on the ground. You got 3 Brevard players and only 1 Knight player. Brevard's able to push that back out. Ray pushes that out to the far side. I believe that's Thomas. Have a throw in. Ray comes up. Brings the ball into the middle of the field. Romney gets checked, but no call by the referee. Maddie Staples. Good things have happened tonight with Maddie Staples and the ball at her feet. She's going to take a long shot. Hits the Brevard defender right in the face. She's able to get that cleared. Throw in by Maddie to McKenna. McKenna looking to drop that off to Morgan Romney, and Brevard pushes that back. Clears it to midfield. Brevard possesses the ball. Romney comes up after taking that hip check. She gives one herself and is punished by the referee by receiving a yellow card, the first one of the game for either side.
crowd is not happy with that. A lot of boos coming from the stands.
You kind of have to wonder there, Rock, if the referee saw the one that she received down here, and then when he saw her go after that, he decided he must have missed one, and he's going to give Morgan that card. Because she definitely took a hard hip check down here on in front of the SVU goal.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I think that might have been what happened.
Always frustrating as a player when you feel that the referee, gives a makeup call in the other direction. And I know the football players all agree with what we're saying up here in the booth, as they're getting a little
That's why
loud
they're the
down
loudest.
there. Courtney Montez makes a good play, pushes the ball, opens it up. Ella Thomas on the far side pushing forward. Brevard's able to come up and clear that out of bounds. Ella's going to get the throw in here. There, Mabel Harris now. She's going to get the throw in. Move McKenna over there making a run, hoping to get on the ball. Another throw in on the far side. Knights are able to gather it down and across. Matia Murray over her head, but Maddie Staples coming over, gets the ball, saves it from going out of bounds. Tries to make a cross, gets under it. And the ball falls harmlessly into the goalkeeper's hands. So Brevard, goalkeeper, Arroyo, will restart this, send it up toward midfield. Montez turns it back toward the Knights' offensive end. Ball played open by Mabel. Morgan with a through ball just in front of Gabriella. Now here's a free ball.
It's 2-on-1.
Yeah, and that was number 11, Grace Black for Brevard, one of their top scorers. One of the few times we've called her name tonight, which is just another testament to how much that ball's been on the offensive end of the Knights. Ball goes out of bounds, throw in from the Knights as we approach 3 minutes remaining in this first overtime period. Annalise turns that over to the far side of the field. Ella brings it up. She'll be looking for Mabel, I'm sure. There it goes. Ball forward to Mabel. McKenna making a run down the middle of the field. Mabel brings it down, makes a cross. McKenna's going to get on the other end of that. McKenna didn't really have anything. She laid that off. Morgan took a long shot and the ball goes up and over the goal, out of bounds for another goal kick. Another attack that looked promising there, Rock.
Yeah, I think she just got kind of excited right there. I think everybody right now kind of wants to be a hero, which, who can blame them in a game like this? Not necessarily a bad shot, but, maybe could have found another open opportunity within that span of passes.
Good ball played forward there by Annalise Huber. And looks like
We call it goal kick.
the football team says corner kick. Unfortunately, the referee disagrees and gives that as a goal kick to Brevard. 2 minutes to go. Again, the Brevard goalkeeper is going to defer to a defender to come take this goal kick. McKenna is going to bring that ball down about 40 yards out in the center of the field. Lays that back to Ella. She makes a cross out in the front of the Knights, and that ball again finds its way to the arms of the Brevard goalkeeper, Arroyo. Under a minute and a half to go in this first overtime period. McKenna leaves that for Gabriella Ray. Tries to push that ball into space, but unfortunately there weren't any Knights that were able to follow that ball into the space that was there. Brevard's able to bring the ball down. Alyssa comes off the line to to make short work of that. Kicks it middle of the field. Brevard again brings it down. They lay it off. Ella is able to intercept that. Courtney Montez tries to find Mabel. Ball gets by the Brevard defender. Mabel was almost able to get on that ball, but Brevard was able to intercept it, turn it the other way. 20 seconds left to go in this first overtime period. Morgan pushes the ball forward to Mattia, back to Morgan.
See if they can get the last second shot
10
here.
seconds just to find any type of a shot. Put some pressure on the goal before time expires in this first overtime period. But the ball will roll out of bounds, and that's not going to be returned to play before time expires. So moving on to the final 10 minutes of game time. Again, Rock, this game has followed the same script basically from kickoff, where the Knights are able to put that pressure, continue to move forward, provide themselves with opportunities to score, but haven't been able to score, while Brevard seems to be dodging bullet after bullet and doing just enough to not give up.
Yeah, no, I think
go-ahead goal.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely what we're seeing. There's a lot of offense from SVU and a lot of last-second defense from Brevard. But it's good to see both teams still knocking heads, still working really hard to try to defend their spot out there on the field.
So it looks like we'll have about 3 minutes, one more intermission, and then the referees will call the teams back onto the field and see if we can't decide this game before it goes to penalty kicks. Penalty kicks are always an interesting point of discussion when you talk about soccer. It seems interesting that you play 90 minutes, and now in this case it looks like we're going to go to the 110 minutes of game time where the teams fight back and forth. No goals being scored. Of course, we got 10 minutes, to have something score, and then we're going to turn around and put each team 8 yards away from the goal with just the goalie in front and decide the game that way.
It'll be interesting to see, most definitely, especially because we've seen a lot more work come from Brevard when it comes to the keepers than that of SVU, just because she hasn't seen many opportunities to, get in front of the ball. And that might be a big mental difference, just being able to basically warm up throughout the game and then, basically coming in cold turkey, in these penalty kicks, assuming that we do go to them. But we are going to have these last 10 minutes to see if the team can prove themselves before that.
But how's this, Rock? A little bit of food for thought here.
All right.
The goalie for Brevard is a freshman.
Okay.
And the goalie for Southern Virginia is a senior.
Oh, there we go.
So, that'd be an interesting point when it comes down to it. Now you would have the senior goalkeeper
versus the freshman
that has her career in her own hands as to whether or not she gets another game here at her home field versus a freshman, trying to extend the season of the underdog Brevard Tornadoes. So,
and that might just be the difference. We were talking before the game about how sports are very important when it comes to psychology, and they're 90% mental and 10% physical. So it's like you said, you're playing to defend your spot out there versus I'm a freshman. I'm going to play this next year. It doesn't matter if I lose, and that might just make the difference.
Be experience versus, maybe the carefree attitude of the freshman. You never know. We got 10 minutes to find out whether the Knights can decide this without going to penalty kicks, or if we'll see that matchup between the freshman goalie of Brevard and the senior goalkeeper for Southern Virginia. Here we have Gabriella Ray with a great ball, puts it forward too.
Good opportunity.
And we got a goal. And the shot just wide. Just wide.
Great opportunity, great shot. Just didn't happen. Wow, and it came within the first 30 seconds of the second half of overtime.
Just like we've seen all night long, Rock. Again, an early opportunity. Maybe the best of the night there. McKenna got on that ball that was well played. and just missed wide by inches.
Yeah, you know, you hear this with every sport, but especially in soccer, you know, it's definitely a game of inches. You know, if you miss that half inch, that's going to make a big difference, you know, in the game, and that's exactly what that was. You know, maybe a few inches outside of the goal. You know, that could have been right there.
Knights with a cross. Ball again already in front of their goal. Ball comes down to the ground. Brevard's able to clear it. But there's Haley Gadd able for the Knights to move that and change ball moving forward toward the offensive end. Errant pass picked up by Brevard. Brevard player making a run on the far side. She loses it, but then there's another player there. I believe that player was Grace Black that was able to regain possession there for Brevard. Abby Meyer, the transfer for Brevard. She lays it off here on the near side. This is probably the first time that Brevard's had a cross into the box all night long. Alyssa comes out, makes easy work of that. Koki gets the counterattack started. Brevard's able to push that out of bounds for a goal kick. I believe that's Mabel Harris over there that's going to throw that in for the Knights. She's going to lay that off. Let another teammate take that. That's Maddie Staples there trying to make a good cross. Intercepted by Brevard. Played forward. Looking for Abby Meyer. Misplayed a little bit by Haley Gadd. Meyer's able to take possession. Looks like a 50-50 ball. But Meyer's on the ground still. Referee has not signaled that he's going to give any type of a foul. Looked like both players kicked the ball at about the same time. Waiting here for an indication as far as to what referee. Yep, just a restart, not a penalty, not a foul or anything. Here we go, Ella Thomas looking to push the ball forward. Brevard heads it back toward midfield. Courtney Montez plays that down. Brevard's able to intercept, push forward. Abby Meyer for Brevard chases that down. Ball's pushed out of bounds by Haley Gadd. That'll be a throw in for Brevard. Ball comes in.
Might be an opportunity for Brevard to score.
Yeah, their offense, so far the first 4 minutes of this final period, while it hasn't been as threatening as the Knights have been, definitely more organized.
Oh, absolutely.
A few more touches into space, a couple more runs. They created that cross, which, if I'm not mistaken, was their first cross of the night.
Yeah, I don't believe I've seen that in the halves prior.
Ball goes out of bounds. We're going to have a goal kick for the Knights with just under 6 minutes remaining in this overtime. Ella pushes that forward. McKenna. A hard play there again. Referees letting them play. Maybe a little ironic that the football players have an issue with the physical play. Montez pushes past Brevard. Defender lays it for Gabriella Ray, who plays it in the middle of the field. Comes up, heel touch there by Clausen. Doesn't find anybody there. Annalise Huber back, playing hard for the ball. Stalls the attack. Brevard plays it in. Alyssa Truman's able to pick that up. And now we have another Knights offensive possession. Ball played. It's Huber. Over to Maddie Staples, who's going to bring the ball up the far side. Try and get that to Mabel Harris along the sideline, but that's going to go out of bounds. Throw in for Brevard. Brevard plays that in. That's Grace Black there they're looking for. SVU regains possession, and now we got a foul by Brevard. So SVU will have the free kick. Pushed over to Maddie Staples. Lays that off for Harris. The ball into the box.
They're going to call a foul?
Nope. Referee says no. No, the defender, again, a little bit of a hip check maybe on Gabriella Ray.
A lot of boos coming from the crowd.
Yeah, but the way the last 20 minutes have gone, it's not surprising.
No.
You know, without a replay to really see how much of contact was there. Yeah, you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, no, that call could have definitely gone either way.
There's a difference between wanting the call and actually having enough contact there to warrant a call. But the football players here for the Knights, they're gonna do their best.
Oh, they're
to try and convince the referee to give something that might find the favor of the SVU Knights women's soccer team.
They're definitely loud enough.
Got a goal kick here to restart with just under 3 minutes left. Brevard plays that up toward the Knights' goal. Maddie's able to deke the Brevard offensive player, get by her, pushes that up. Ball played to the midfield. Morgan pushing that forward, looking for a runner. There's McKenna. Brevard's able to stop that. Courtney Montez comes over to make a play. Montez still on the ball. Circles around. Up to Morgan. Morgan lays that off. Brevard's able to step in front of that. And now, kind of a dangerous play there. Brevard plays it off the Knights defender and able to get it back, but the Knights are able to regroup, push that forward, now make a counter-attack of their own.
Going back to the men's soccer game, Methodist takes the win in double overtime, 3-4.
So a lot of soccer being played by the Knights soccer teams tonight. Double overtime game for the men down at Methodist. Unfortunately, they fall down there. And here we are approaching the 120th minute of this, or 110th minute, excuse me, of this women's soccer game here at Knight Field. Got a goal kick by Brevard. Let's see what type of offensive push the Knights can make here in the final minute. Otherwise, we're going to see this go into the penalty kicks. Alyssa Truman, the senior, back there urging her teammates to go forward and find a game-winning goal here in the last minute. Brevard just trying to possess the ball, I think, at this point. They're happy to go to penalty kicks. And now, seemingly out of nowhere, the referee does call a foul on the Knights. 30 seconds left. Rock, I think we are now we're now knowing what our destiny for this game is going to be here. I think we're going to find penalty kicks here. Just under 20 seconds. Knights have possession, trying to make one last gasp effort here. Under 10 seconds. Brevard plays it out. Ball's at midfield.
And there it is.
And there we have it.
We're heading to PKs. This game is really, really up in the air now. You know, not so much, you know, not one team can just dominate the offense, can dominate the defense. Now it's really one or the other.
So unfortunately, we don't have any stats as far as penalty saves go. One thing we can tell you is that Arroyo from Brevard has allowed just 6 goals in 10 matches. Extend that now to 11 matches now that we're into this one. So she's a solid goalkeeper back there. We've seen her tonight having to make a few plays. And then on the flip side, I believe we said that on the year, Alyssa Truman has only given up 6 goals of her own throughout the conference season. And now they're going to be front and center. The freshman from Brevard versus the senior goalkeeper from Southern Virginia. That would seemingly favor Southern Virginia to have an experienced goalkeeper back there to be able to stand in front of these kicks. Again, Brevard hasn't really sustained any type of attack. How confident are their kickers going to be as they approach the ball here to take their shots? Whereas at least, you look at the Southern Virginia side, and their players have been very much involved in the offense all night long. They're probably feeling pretty confident and will be very excited for the opportunity to take a kick to send their team into the semifinals.
Yeah, if we take a look at the total shots that each team has taken, Brevard has only taken 1 the entire game, and Southern Virginia's taken 21. Taking 20 more shots. They're like you said, their offense has been a lot more involved, really trying hard to get up there and make something happen. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened, and that is going to take us to PKs, but I think that might play a big role in this case. Coming up cold, or you coming up after taking all these shots and you're ready to go. I think that might just be the difference is who's warm, who's ready, and who's not.
Now, how about, Rock, for you, you're a freshman goaltender on the road in your first conference tournament game. You've got the opposing team's football team being as loud as possible. How are you feeling right now if you're that freshman goalkeeper from Brevard?
I might just run off to the sideline and throw up. Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's a lot more pressure on the freshman. But, you were saying there is a lot of pressure on the senior as well, as this might just be their last game. I think kind of goes both ways. I think for the freshman, though, you are right. This is a very different situation for her. But I have definitely seen some situations where, a freshman is putting something similar, and they pull through. Whether that's a miracle or some skill, it does happen, and we'll see if that's one of those times. But you're absolutely right. The mentality is definitely different from each other right now.
But it's also your opportunity, right?
Absolutely. It's something to prove yourself. This is the
This
time
is why
to
you
shine.
play sports.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole life, whether it's soccer or football or baseball, basketball or golf, you dream of the moment when you're in the spotlight and you have the opportunity to come through. And now whether you're a freshman goalkeeper or a senior goalkeeper, now is your time to shine.
My dad told me growing up, he said, you're a good player if you can make the plays that you're expected to make, but you're a great player if you can make the plays that no one expects you to make. And, we're going to see that, who is a great player, who's a good player, who can make these saves and who can't.
It looks like Brevard is going to be the first team to take a shot. We've got Truman out there standing in front of the goal, waiting for the first one to come forward to take their shot. Of course, it'll be the advantage for the Knights to be able to shoot last, knowing what they have to do and keep pace. The best thing that could happen right here is for Truman to make an early save on one of the first couple kickers from Brevard and give that advantage to her team. You got Most of the fans, football team and all, have made their way as close as they can to the south end of the stadium, which is where the shots will be taken. First player coming forward for Brevard. Looks to be we'll hopefully get a number for her momentarily. Referees are making last-minute preparations here, making sure the goalies understand. And here's the first kick. Finds the back of the net. Brevard is successful on their first attempt.
Definitely a good start for Brevard.
Definitely looks like that was number 16, Emma White, for Brevard. Now coming forward for the Knights to take their first kick. Looks to be possibly Madison Solis. No, this is Clausen. Clausen for the first kick. And she also finds the back of the net to even the score.
There it is. I think both teams are sweating bullets right now. Tensions are definitely high.
Have the second player for Brevard coming forward, ready to take her shot. Looks to be number 25. Again, we don't have her name on the roster. And just past the outstretched arms of Truman.
Definitely a close one. You know, these players are kicking it so close as a keeper. You just kind of have to guess and jump for it. Hope for the best.
Yeah, she didn't look to seem to have the pace on that ball that she would have liked to have, and that just about gave Huber enough time to reach out and poke it away. Gabriella Ray now coming forward for the Knights, looking to even the count here in the penalty kicks. Referee gives her the go-ahead. And she also finds the back of the net, evens the score 2-2.
Bounced off the keeper's hands right there. She guessed correctly and just missed it.
Looked like a similar play, just the opposite side of the net as the previous kicker kicking toward Truman.
That must be really discouraging.
So the next player for Brevard looks to be number 29, Autumn Wright. And Truman makes the save.
Incredible save.
That's the play the Knight fans were looking for. Right there, Truman, she stayed true to her line, and the ball came in hard, about chest high, and she was able to knock it away. So advantage goes to the Knights as Mattia Murray, I believe, approaches to take her opportunity. She's ready to approach the ball. And she buries it to the back of the net. The Knights take the lead 3-2. Looks like Abby Meyer now, leading scorer for the Tornadoes, coming to take her opportunity. Truman back on the line. And just past her outstretched arms, Meyer is able to find the back of the net.
That was a close one. If Truman got to that one, that might have just been it for Brevard.
Excuse me, that was Grace Black. Grace Black, number 11. Me too. Got McKenna Winterton now coming to the spot to take hers. And she finds the back of the net as well, making the Knights 4 for 4 in the penalty, a 4-3 lead. And now number 4, Haley Bryan, will approach to take hers. Now here we are in a situation, Rock, where if Alyssa Truman, the senior, can find a way to get in front of this,
that's it.
They will win the match right here.
That's it.
If Bryan is able to find the back of the net behind her, then we'll have the final Knights player with the opportunity to still win the match for the Knights.
Let's see what happens. The crowd's on their feet.
And the ball sails over the crossbar. The Knights win. The Knights win. Alyssa Truman rushes her teammates as they rush her. She saves the win for the Knights. The Knights move on to action on Thursday in the semifinals.
Really intense game. Everybody's excited. The football players are running out there on the field. Really great game. Remember to like and subscribe for SVU Broadcasting. We appreciate the time that you've taken to watch this wonderful game, and have a good night.
This evening's final score, Tornadoes 0 and your Knights 1. As you leave, please collect all personal items, travel safe, and thanks again for coming out.